Why do we know we have to try every day, but don't know what we are trying for? You are not lazy. You still go to work, go to school, and rush to meet deadlines every day. But the moment you pause, you suddenly startle, not knowing where you will be in a few years. You are like a boat drifting blindly in the fog, exhausted but not knowing which way is right. And the harder you try to find an exit, the more stuck you feel. The truth is, this feeling of directionlessness is not because you are incompetent, but because your brain is falling into logical fallacies that you don't even realize. In this video, you will understand why choosing a path for your life is so exhausting, and why the harder you try to rack your brain, the more tangled everything becomes. And most importantly, we will find a way to untangle that vicious cycle together, so you know exactly what you need to do next without feeling anxious or fearful anymore. Stage 1. Stuck at the starting line. Many people think that losing their direction is because they lack talent or have no path to take. But in reality, it is because you have too many turning points in front of you. You see your friends, some making money from business, some holding stable office jobs, others working freelance and traveling everywhere. Everywhere you look, you crave it. You want to try a bit of this, a bit of that, but every single time you are about to start something, a question pops up in your head. What if I choose this and miss out on a better opportunity? As a result, you are frozen right in place. Having many choices should make you happy, but it is precisely because there are too many choices that you don't dare to take a step. In psychology, this is called analysis paralysis. Our brain is very cunning. It is terrified of the feeling of missing out, terrified of making the wrong choice and regretting it. Therefore, when standing before too many paths, instead of just picking one to experience, the brain forces you to think, calculate, and compare day after day, month after month. It deceives you by saying, think carefully before you act, but in reality, it is exhausting you so that you don't have to start. Your future is being postponed in the exact same way. You keep wasting time weighing and measuring what will make you rich the fastest or what is the safest, only for time to pass by while you remain at a standstill. Stage 2. The illusion of effort trap. The more panicked, the more wrong. When you see yourself standing still for too long, while looking around at your friends who all have good jobs and stable incomes, you naturally panic. You fear becoming a leftover, someone left behind. That very feeling of fear will force you to do one thing. Make yourself busy at all costs to comfort yourself. You throw yourself into a frantic race against time. Seeing people say a certain industry is hot, you immediately click to buy a course. Seeing someone share a good book online, you buy it right away just to leave it on the shelf. You even say yes to every side job anyone offers. But in reality, you are not putting in genuine effort. You are just using busyness to cover up your fear and avoid facing the truth that you don't know where you are going. It is exactly like when you try to untangle a messy ball of yarn or a tangled pair of earphones. When you are calm, it's fine, but once you get frustrated and impatient, you will use force to yank it, pulling this wire and ripping that wire with the hope that it will come loose. But everyone knows the result. The more panicked you are and the harder you pull, the tighter the knot grips together, becoming impossible to untangle. Your attempt to find a direction for your life right now is just like that. Because you hoard too many things in a state of panic, everything you do ends up half-baked. You learn a bit of this, do a bit of that, and then abandon it. Ultimately, your health is depleted, your mind is exhausted, and everything in your life remains a tangled mess just like before. Stage 3. The regret trap. The more you regret the effort, the less you dare to change. After wasting too much time, effort, and even money rushing into all sorts of things, like in stage 2 without getting anywhere, you will fall into an even more exhausting state. You know clearly that the path you are on is wrong, but you don't dare to turn back and start over from scratch. You begin to make excuses for yourself. Anyway, I've already spent 4 years in university on this major. Giving it up now would waste my parents' effort in raising and schooling me. Or, I've been at this company for several years. If I jump to a new field now, does it mean starting from zero? So you grit your teeth and bear it, continuing to drag through miserable days, going to work in the morning and coming home at night like a machine, year after year. In psychology, this is called the sunk cost fallacy. Our brain has a massive weakness. It is extremely afraid of loss. It forces you to keep plunging into a mistake, simply because you have already invested heavily in it in the past. The truth is, even if you try to endure it for a few more years, the time or effort you lost in the past can never be recovered. Forcing yourself to cling to a job you hate or a major that doesn't suit you doesn't help you break even. It only costs you more of your future. You are using your remaining precious years of youth to feed an old, mistaken choice just because you can't bear to let it go. In the end, you neither achieve success nor keep your sanity, slowly eroding your own energy and the joy of living every single day. The more you regret, the deeper you sink, and the price to pay later will be even heavier. Stage 4. The blame trap, playing the victim to feel less incompetent. When the regret and stagnation from stage 3 drag on for too long without you daring to change, your brain automatically activates a new self-defense mechanism, blaming circumstances. Instead of admitting that you are cowardly and afraid to step out of your comfort zone, you start shifting all responsibility onto others. You blame bad luck, a toxic boss, an exploitative company, or the fact that the current economy is too difficult. You scroll through social media and sigh. They succeeded only because they had a launching pad. No matter how hard I try, it amounts to nothing. The truth is, playing the victim role gives you an extremely comfortable feeling. It frees you from guilt and feelings of incompetence. It gives you a perfect excuse to continue, standing still without feeling any pangs of conscience. But this is the fastest-acting poison that destroys you. Because when you believe that every tragedy is due to circumstances, you also strip away your own power to change your life. You accept giving up and leave your future to be pushed around by the tides of life, only to become increasingly resentful and bitter toward the world around you. Stage 5. The escape trap, using short-term pleasure to consume long-term pain. This is the peak of stagnation, when you are too exhausted by reality but helpless to change it. At this point, to forget the anxiety about the future, you begin to seek instant painkillers in your daily life. You dive into short-term pleasures, staying up all night, binging shows, wasting hours on video games, mindlessly scrolling through social media for hours on end, or spending money recklessly on drinking sessions and buying things you don't really need. Each time you do this, your brain is flooded with dopamine, a neurotransmitter that brings temporary pleasure. You lie to yourself. I've been under pressure at work all day. I need to relieve stress at night. But the harsh truth is, those painkillers do not make your problems disappear. They merely delay the pain. The moment you turn off your phone screen or when the intoxication passes, the feeling of emptiness, guilt, and anxiety about the future rushes back, even more intensely than before. You are caught in an endless loop. Stress, escaping into short-term pleasure, guilt, even more stress. You are using temporary pleasures to slowly consume your own energy and future until you realize you have completely lost your fighting spirit. When you clearly see the 5 psychological traps shackling your feet, the most important question is, how do you save yourself? When the fog has covered the path, trying to look 5 or 10 years into the distance will only make you panic more. To regain control of your life, you need a clear action strategy, moving from mindset to reality through the following 4 specific steps. Step 1. Stop choosing with your eyes and start choosing with your feet. Act to get data. The biggest mistake keeping you stuck at the starting line is that you are trying to use pure thinking to solve a practical problem. You sit still in one place, surf the web, read reviews, and weigh whether doing this job will make you rich or if learning that skill is risky. The brutal truth is, your brain cannot know what it truly likes or dislikes if it has never experienced it. All calculations in your head right now are just illusions. The only way to break the deadlock is to dive in and try. Don't wait for a perfect job to appear before you do it. Start with the smallest and least expensive things. Take an internship, accept a small project with low pay, self-study a basic free course online, or even volunteer to work for free for someone talented just to learn the trade. Only when you actually put your hands to work and face daily job pressures will your brain have real data to analyze. Only then will you know, it turns out I'm not as fit for marketing as I thought, or this job is tiring, but I actually do it very well. Pick a path and walk. If it's wrong, turn around and pick another. A wrong action is still 10,000 times better than standing still and letting time erode your self-confidence. Step 2. Learn how to cut losses in your career. The owner's mindset. If you are being held back by stage 3, regretting 4 years of university, or several years at a boring job, here is the truth you must wake up to. What is lost is a sunk cost. Whether you sit and cry or try to endure for another 5 years, that time and money will never return. Continuing to do a job you hate every day is not loyalty or perseverance. It is cowardice under the guise of regret. You are using your remaining precious youthful years to feed an old, mistaken choice. Learn the mindset of a smart investor. When they discover a stock is plunging with no end in sight, what they do is accept cutting losses immediately to preserve their remaining capital. No one frantically pumps more money into it with hollow hope. Your career is the same. Accepting to start over from zero in a new field might make you struggle for the first few months, but it will save decades of your career ahead. Letting go at the right time is not failure. It is the courage to start over in a smarter way. Step 3. Detox from short-term pleasures and face the void, rewiring the brain. To escape the loop of avoidance in stage 5, you must execute a revolution with your daily habits. Whenever the feeling of anxiety and pressure hits, your brain will automatically scream for TikTok, gaming, movies, or drinking. You must soberly realize that is a trap. Those things are just temporary painkillers. When the medicine wears off, the harsh reality remains exactly as it was. Even worse, because you have lost more time. Learn to face your own emptiness. Turn off your phone. Isolate yourself from electronic devices for 1 to 2 hours every day. Allow yourself to have true rest intervals. Sit down with a piece of paper and a pen. Ask yourself, and write down the most honest answers. Where exactly is my reality bad? What are my strengths, even the smallest ones? What would an ideal workday look like to me? When you dare to face your own silence and fear without the aid of short-term dopamine triggers, your mind will finally settle enough to see what truly needs to change. Step 4. Focus on the very next step right in front of you, micro-mindset. When lost, we tend to look at a destination too far away. By age 30, I must have a house, a car, be a manager. It is those grand, overwhelming goals, combined with seeing the success of friends on social media, that crush your fighting spirit, making you feel too small and incompetent. Put those macro goals aside and switch to a micro mindset. Don't ask, who will I be in 5 years? Ask, what do I need to do today? If you want to change industries, what is the next step today? Find and read 3 articles about that industry. If you want to learn a new skill, what is the next step today? Watch the introduction of a 1-5-minute tutorial video. Just focus on performing today's task well. When you complete a small task, your brain releases winning hormones, helping you regain confidence. Many small steps accumulated every day will automatically form a big path that you yourself couldn't have anticipated. There is a truth that no one tells you when you enter the adult world. Almost all of us are figuring things out as we go. No one has a perfect map ready in hand. The people you see who look successful and stable out there, deep down inside, they also used to have sleepless nights of panic, also doubted themselves, and endured humiliating failures that they never flaunt on social media. Therefore, the fact that you are directionless at this age is absolutely not a tragedy, and it certainly does not mean you are incompetent or a failure. Look at this anxiety as a positive signal. It is a sign that your mind has outgrown its old shell. Your current life is no longer big enough to contain your potential, and your brain is urging you to upgrade yourself to a better version. Getting lost is not scary. What is most scary is knowing you are lost, but choosing to lie flat in one place to take the beating, then using fake busyness or short-term pleasures to deceive yourself day by day. The past is a sunk cost. You cannot go back to fix that wrong math problem. But the future has not arrived yet, and it depends entirely on how you decide to treat yourself today. Instead of sitting there looking at other people's lives and blaming or torturing yourself, learn to be a little kinder to yourself. Allow yourself to be wrong, to start over, and most importantly, to walk at your own pace. Right after this video ends, turn off your phone screen. Stand up, clean up your messy desk, drink a glass of water, take out a piece of paper, and write down the smallest thing you can do tomorrow. Don't try to see where the 5-year destination lies in the fog. Just focus on seeing the step right in front of your eyes clearly and courageously plant your foot down. The path never appears for you to see clearly before you walk. It only truly opens up after every single step you persistently take forward. You can do it.